the beginning, you cannot hide the influences. But as I said before, slowly and gradually, you can also create your own identity. But you have to be persistent, and you have to be consistent, and you have to be focused, and you have to be all this complicated stuff that needs a lot of time and then a lot of personal effort.
Oh yeah, here we are. What's up, everybody? It's Keefy at ghostcoldmag.com. I'm here with Nick of Suicidal Angels from Greece. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, thanks so much for being here. Looking forward to this chat. Brand new album, Profane Prayer, coming out on Nuclear Blast Records very soon, as we are recording this in early February. And yeah, man, killer band, thrash band from Greece. Greece knows how to do metal, let me tell you. Some of my favorite bands. I'm often seen at shows around town in my Septic Flesh hat, my beanie, and a big Coroner fan. So, you know, Greece, Firewind, Greece knows how to do metal. This is our first time meeting up, so I always like to do like a little bit of a origin of the band. How did the band form, and you know, what brought you to this Profane Prayer album about to come out on Nuclear Blast?
Actually, the band, I started the band when I was a kid, when I was around 15 years old, when I was in school. You know, just like found out about metal and thrash metal later on, and I just, you know how it goes, you just go buy a guitar, you start doing foolish things with the guitar, trying to make some sounds out of the guitar, trying to play some covers around the whole thing. And I started the band in 2001. I was around 15, 16 years old. We started playing some covers from, you know, all this basic stuff, you know, Paranoid, Breaking the Law, because you have to learn how to play the instrument first. And later on, I met Orfeas, the drummer, in 2003, and since then we are together. It's already 20, 21 years that we are together. Yeah, almost a lifetime.
Right. You know,
I don't know. Maybe if you're with your wife so many years, you know, not you personally, generally speaking.
I like to say that being in a band is like very similar to a marriage, and hopefully it's a successful one. It's hard. You know, you're managing your relationship with your friends. You have a business, but
yeah.
You know, music, we do it for the love. There's no except for like two bands I can think of. There's nobody getting rich in metal. Ozzy and Metallica, that was it. I don't think anybody else is really doing very well. Maybe Slipknot, but they're not thrash. But yeah, man, you know, I'm like you. I was a musician as a kid, and I learned covers, and I was in a bunch of thrash bands. So I totally dig it. You know, the band's got an awesome sound. You know.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, and I love this new record. It's killer. It's really killer. It seems like this is a culmination of everything you guys have been working up to. You know, like it's been a long time coming.
You know, the thing is that, of course, we have our influences that they are coming from the 80s, obviously. But what we always try to do is to filter all these influences through our own perspective about the music that we would love to play. And I believe that gradually and slowly we managed to create somehow our own identity. It's not easy nowadays to do something like that, but I believe, like, of course you're gonna hear, as I said before, all the influences in there, in the album, in this album, and all the previous ones. But I think that slowly we managed to create the character around Suicidal Angels, and when you play a song, you can somehow, if you're familiar with the band and the sound of the band, you can say that this is our baby or our song or whatever.
Right on. I love hearing that, and it's tough to be original. You know, there was a period of time when everybody was copying Metallica and Slayer, like copycats, no originality. And and again, Metallica and Slayer, if you're gonna copy the best. Right? Copy the absolute best. I have a second podcast where we review albums and bands, right? And we're doing Slayer, and we're doing the early Slayer records, and it's like even Slayer was copying Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, and then they became like Slayer. They really became what they are, you know? So it's tough.
Yeah. I mean, in the beginning, you cannot hide the influences. But as I said before, slowly and gradually you can also create your own identity. But you have to be persistent, and you have to be consistent, and you have to be focused, and you have to be all this complicated stuff that needs a lot of time and then a lot of personal effort.
It's true. How much guitar do you play do you play like every single day? You pick up your guitar and shred?
Yeah. At least a couple of hours.
It's that dedication. You got to have that dedication. I remember killing my hands, man, just trying to play all the time, trying to be like Cliff Burton and kill my hands every day. It was rough. It was hard. You couldn't.
Yeah,
It was hard to
the
do.
thing is, the thing for me is that like I love playing the instrument anyways, and most of the times while I'm just sitting home watching a series or a movie or whatever, and I have the guitar in hand, and this is most of the times how I create most of the riffs. Just like chilling there, jamming on my own, and it's like, oh, that sounds nice. That sounds nice. Let's improve that a bit. So that's mostly how I create most of the riffs around the Suicidal Angels music.
Right on. Would Out of curiosity, so let's say you write the beginnings of the songs and you bring them to the rest of the guys. Do they get to put their own kind of stamp on it, or you prefer them to kind of play it the way you hear it?
No, no. I mean, like we are, all the guys are totally free to intervene in the whole thing. It's not like take it, play it, that's it. No. I mean, like we do a lot of work with Orfeas, the two of us, on the arrangement of the songs. But of course, the other two guys, both Angel and Gus, they have like their own input about. I mean, like it's a teamwork. I mean, maybe the main idea comes out from me, but while processing the whole song, it's a teamwork.
Well, it's important, and I do know from my time playing in bands, let's say you come up with a riff or a really good idea, and you hear it in your head, how you think it's going to sound, and then obviously other people come in and they add their stuff to it. So you have to, that's kind of like one of the keys to success in a band.
Yeah, sometimes the input from the others is good. Sometimes some maybe sucks. I mean, like we don't say, yeah. I mean, like we're discussing. We're not. It's like a conversation. Like, okay, first of all, do you like this riff? Do you like these riffs? Yeah, of course. Let's try and work it out. Or maybe they say, yeah, we don't like it that much. I mean, like maybe we are repeating ourselves with that and that, because sometimes if you are the creator of the riffing process, sometimes you go back to scales and stuff that you played before, but you don't even realize it. So somebody that haven't listened to that before, maybe he can make some comments like, "Oh, dude, this sounds like that song. Maybe we can skip this riff or whatever."
That is a common problem, because there's so much history of metal and so much stuff has been done. I appreciate that you guys are trying to be original as possible, because it's very easy to play something you heard before, just hear it in your ear and be like, man, that sounds awesome, but where have I heard that riff before?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a game you have to play with yourself. You have to I have to work it out in my brain. How familiar is this riff? Does it sound too much like that one Creator song I love? It's one of those challenges. Who are some? Obviously, we've been mentioning the great bands of all time. Who are some of your personal favorite thrash bands?
Actually, I would start the whole thing giving you some more information about the whole thing. Is like when I started listening to metal music, I started with the classic stuff. A friend of mine gave me a re-recorded cassette of Iron Maiden Live After Death, and then I started a bit with Metallica, a bit with Blind Guardian, a bit with Black Sabbath. All the basics. Let's say the basics. But this whole thing was in my ears was heavy, but I wanted something heavier. So I asked a friend of mine in school who was older than me, and I asked him, like, is there something kind of heavier than this stuff? And he just gave me like the Show No Mercy album from Slayer, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Yeah, it's like a kick in the stomach, a kick in the balls. Like, wow. It was non-stop playing in my Discmans like for 6 months, and then I was started collecting all these. What is this fucking thing called thrash? Just give me some more, give me some directions. I was just buying like stupid, this is good. Oh, this is not good. Oh, this is better in my ears. Oh, this is not that much to my taste. But of course, I'm like a Slayer, Creator, Sadis, by the way, Testament, Overkill, all these bands. And I'm really happy that I had the chance so far in our history to actually be on tour with most of them.
And you're on the same label as some of your heroes. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, but I also had we had the chance to tour with them and to meet them personally.
That's awesome.
Which makes it even more interesting.
Of course. Sadis has a brand new album out, by the way. That's really awesome. I would tell everybody to go check it out. It's pretty great.
I haven't listened to it so far.
Give it a shot.
But I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody else out there watching this, go check it out. It's awesome. It's kind of a funny time. We have like the best bands ever, except for Slayer. Most of the greats are still doing it, and then we have a lot of newer bands like your band is not new, but I think this album is gonna put you on a bigger level to a lot of like listeners. I think this is gonna help you guys. This record's
Thank
killer.
you very much. Hopefully.
That's the dream. That's the dream. Hopefully everybody
Yeah,
gets
yeah,
to hear it.
of course, of
What's
course.
like in your town or your city or where you grew up, was it easy to find a lot of other metalheads or other musicians to play with, or was it hard?
20 years ago, it wasn't as easy as it is now, like 20 something years ago. I mean, like the whole thing was still a bit like, we were metalheads. Of course, we're not in the 80s that society is rejecting you and stuff, but we were still metalheads. It was, I mean, like the minds were not that open. There was not much information apart from magazines. Internet was not so much involved in the whole thing. Was not that much developed. There was no like these online stores that you can buy stuff, and it wasn't easy to find people that they were actually playing music because you didn't have the means to buy an instrument, or you didn't know how to. There were not many teachers to learn you how to play this style of music, metal in general. But nowadays, for I think information and everything is totally accessible for everyone. I mean, like you just go online, you just find the guitar, you have the money, you collect the money, you save the money, and just go and buy it. Back then, there was not that much information about the whole process, and there were not many studios in Athens, or if the existing ones didn't know how to actually, they were not that familiar with the metal sound. They were more into this kind of punk rock situation. But still, I mean, like if you have the passion and the dream for it, you go for it. You're gonna find a way. You're
Right
gonna
on.
find a way anyways.
Make those dreams come true with that drive. You need to have a certain
Yeah.
amount of drive to do anything in life, but especially the music business is very hard. So
Oh yeah, of course.
I appreciate you guys for making it out. And yeah, 20+ years as a band is an achievement for anybody. It's hard to do,
Yeah, it needs a lot of commitment and a lot of dedication on that.
and some understanding from your family and your partners, your wives, your
Ha!
girlfriends, your
Yeah,
boyfriends.
yeah, of course.
It's hard.
Friends, girlfriends, parents, friends, whatever. I mean, like the whole combo.
Right on. So the new record is coming out. Do you guys have some touring planned? Can you get out of what's that like? I know it's expensive right now to go on tour.
Yeah, it is, but despite the level of how difficult this can be, we'll go on tour in the beginning of March. 1st of March, we'll go on tour in Europe. We start with actually we start March with the Central European market. Then on April we go to the UK, Spain, and Portugal. And then on May we have some festivals, some other festivals in June, and I mean, like the album is about to be released. I mean, like all the news are out that we're releasing a new album, so we're just like on hold of the agencies to bring the dates, the touring dates and the offers for anywhere. I mean, like for example, before this COVID pandemic situation that we all faced, unfortunately, we even had planned a 6 weeks tour in the States and Canada, but unfortunately got cancelled. So with this album, we hope to manage to come overseas, even though it's expensive and it's kind of risky. We believe that hopefully we'll come over.
You guys would do awesome here, and I hope maybe there's a big tour that happens where they can put you guys on, and you can come over here. I'd love to meet you guys and hang out and see you guys play live.
Absolutely.
We're all over the world, so I'm sure we'll catch you somewhere. We do a lot of European metal festivals and stuff like that, so
Okay.
I'm sure we'll get the chance. I love to end the interview with a fun wild card question. So I wanted to ask you if you could meet one of your heroes who you have never met. Who would you like to meet? Doesn't have to be metal; could be anything.
I would love to have a beer with Jeff Hanneman. I mean, I met him before, but we never had the chance to, chat or say. I mean, like, I would love to meet Nietzsche, for example, also, and have a chat with him. Or I would love to meet Heraclitus or Nick Kazantzakis from, philosophers, writers. I'm reading a lot, anyways. So apart from music, I would love to meet some people, that they were quite they made quite an impact on the world as we know it today.
That's a good answer. Maybe have dinner. We bring Nietzsche and Jeff Hanneman back and have dinner
Yeah,
with them. What a conversation
yeah.
that would be.
Oh my God.
Awesome. Hey, Nick, man, thanks so much for hanging out with us today. Congratulations on the new album. And I
Thank
wish
you
you
very
the
much.
best, man. You're really awesome. I appreciate you.
Be safe.